Right outside the door. So I'm gonna pull the door open, and it'll be like a dope shot. This is the first time somebody's actually at the door.
Yes.
You know, it's always like we try to do this, and then they're not there. All right, we are back. This is the Dream is Free podcast, episode 18. I'm your host, Jake Healy. Our other host and super producer is Mike Theophil.
What up, and freestyle rapper.
His new career is freestyle rapping.
Freestyle rapper.
That was him right in the beginning that we just played.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, that was tight then.
Thank you.
Good for you.
You'll like it. Yeah. If I actually played you that, I'm like a little Dickie meets Chance meets. That's the kind of rapper I am. I'm not like
A fun rapper.
Yeah.
It's not like really.
I'm making fun of myself the whole time.
But anyways, our guest today is Miguel Tucker, and he is a serial entrepreneur. That's what I'm gonna call you.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a new one that's new here
Yeah.
at Downtime.
You're our first serial entrepreneur that we've had others on, but you're the first that's claimed the name.
Yes.
And most recently, your latest business is the Kidzvndi clothing line, right? So that's like that's what we know you for.
Kidzvndi and Seconds Vintage.
Seconds?
Seconds is another company we're building off Kidzvndi, which is our adult line.
Perfect.
Yes.
We've been saying we need the adult line. Let's go.
Seconds.
Yo, I can't wait.
Seconds is spelled SEKENDZ. Stands for second chance. As you know, I like to respell everything and make it my own.
And it's vintage clothing that you redo, so it's second chance for the clothing. I got it. I'm very excited about this.
Exactly.
Make sure you're talking right into the mic.
Yeah,
right?
make sure you're talking into it.
So we can hear.
So basically, Seconds Vintage is basically stands for the second time around.
Okay.
So
Love
a
it.
second chance, seconds, just spelled in my own way.
Yeah.
I want it
saw
to be cool, unique.
TJ picked up a.
Fairfield sweater.
I need to come get one of those too.
I need one.
Crazy.
You have more?
Everybody in the town, yeah. Everybody in the town wanted one.
What does it look like? I need one.
Well, we got some
He had a
camo.
tie-dye one, and it just says Fairfield across it, but it's in like the Google spell, like the Google, like
Yeah.
the Google
Font.
colors,
Yeah.
the font.
Yeah.
It says Fairfield, but he had
Fire.
like a tie-dye. It
I
was really,
need that.
yeah. It's simple, but
I'm going to be one of your models for your male clothing line.
Well, yeah, because, we moved the store into Fairfield, so I needed that staple piece. Because to me, I don't feel like anywhere in the town has like a Fairfield piece that everybody comes to when they go to Fairfield. Like every time you go somewhere, you get like a piece of clothing or a souvenir. I want it to be that piece.
right.
You know what I mean? Like that staple of Fairfield. Everybody wants a Fairfield sweater. Yeah. And they do.
You do, yeah. Seriously,
Everybody
they're
got
flat.
some.
They're fresh as hell.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the business. So you started Kidzvndi that was Main Street in Bridgeport, right?
Yeah.
Downtown Bridgeport.
Downtown
that was the
Bridgeport.
first store, which was
We've been there.
we visited there, did a little filming there. That
Yep.
spot was dope. It had all the
It was big.
the Nickelodeon characters on the walls, and you had a lot going on there. The custom jeans and everything.
Gene Doctor.
Genius
Doctor.
Bar. Yeah.
Genius bar.
Yeah, so I'm the gene doctor. I bring jeans back to life.
Yes.
You
So
know?
anybody out listening that needs to restore a pair of jeans
Or
that you-
clothes in general.
any clothes, anything that
Hats,
you're thinking about
shoes.
throwing out, bring it over to see the clothes doctor, Miguel.
Yeah, because basically, like, you have stuff in your closet that you love, may lose its color or something, got a rip, need a patch. I look at it and redesign it.
Right. How did you get into all of this?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
So
Little young Miguel.
little young Miguel. So I got into all this by accident. It was literally, at first, it was just to make money.
Right.
We were broke. We didn't have no money. We were making a little bit of money. I was working at Chef's Table. And
Shout out Chef's Table.
Shout out to Chef's Table. We didn't have no money. So I was just trying to find other ways to hustle up cash.
Yep.
And I just started flipping clothes from China. And I always like vintage stuff. And then
Have you always been swagged out though? Like you've always been
Definitely.
always had
Always,
flavor, always had
always.
some style.
Yeah, I always been into Jordans, basically. Just Jordans and sneakers and hats and jackets. That was like my thing. So everybody knows me for my jewelry and my sneakers, glasses, stuff like that. I always been into clothes. But there was a time and point, like we just didn't have any money. And I was just trying to hustle up cash. So I started flipping clothes.
When you say flipping clothes, like what do you mean? You're ordering clothes in bulk from
Like
China,
basically,
and then
I would just order in bulk in China. I was selling on Instagram, and I was doing really, really well.
right.
And then over time, it became saturated, and like everybody start having the same products because obviously we were ordering from the same site. So I wanted different stuff, and I like vintage, so I started getting vintage clothing, which was different because everything was one of a kind because I didn't want it to be like what everybody else had. Most of the stores, you basically buy wholesale, so you get it from the same place, but it's like who has it differently. So vintage is like each piece is unique and it's all one of a kind.
Right. And real quick, so this is something that blew my mind when I talked to Miguel a year or two ago. Can you explain the whole process of how getting vintage clothing works? Like from the drop bins, like the what is it, the Goodwill drop bins, to like how the end piece comes.
So basically all the clothes from Goodwill is sold to these bigger companies. They go to like source like rag houses in Honduras, and they're shipped back into the country to these bigger companies, and then it's distributed like that. And then there's all different types of rag houses all over the country. No, I do not thrift. Everyone thinks I thrift. You will never find the amount of stuff that I find in thrift shops. I actually go to rag houses all over the country, Canada.
And explain a rag house. It's like a big
A
warehouse.
rag house is a big warehouse with clothes all over the place.
Where's the closest one?
Huh?
Where's the closest one?
The closest one will probably be New York.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go in and you just walk into
Just big boxes of shit.
and
you
you just sit there
filter-
and go through it.
You have to go through everything. Like literally just a ton of shit.
And how do they charge you?
Well, I do by the piece
Okay.
because I handpick everything. So each item you see in our store, I handpicked every single piece. I can get it by the pound, but there's a bunch of shit in it. And
Right.
I'm
Then you
so
don't know what you're
particular.
getting, right.
You don't know what you're getting. So I actually fly to these places and I handpick every single item. And some like items are damaged. That's when I came up to a rework vintage. So rework vintage is stuff that's like damaged, like to me, what I like to call grade A vintage.
Mm-hmm.
I rework it. I'll put a color, patches, fabric.
Tie-dyed up. I
Tie-dyed
remember there was
up.
one piece in there that had like some sort of stain on it, and you were just like tie-dyed the whole thing and made it look dope.
Made it look dope again. So that's how I came up with rework, especially with kids' clothes. I didn't know it at first, but kids' clothes is actually worse. So I had to figure out all these things to reconfigure it and get it back into grade A vintage. Most vintage shops have stains and stuff like that, which is okay in the vintage world because people like it, but I like to bring mine to a grade A state. So it goes through a bunch of different processes before I put it out. Like I actually wash everything 4 times, change the colors, do all this stuff to get it back to the right quality that I want it to be. So it's not just like I go to a Goodwill and put it in the store.
Right.
You're
not just reselling stuff. Like you're just putting a lot of work into it.
Putting a lot of work into it.
Got it.
A lot of work into it.
Nice.
Like I actually go to places and put in my luggage and ship it back to myself. I handpick every single item. I'm not exaggerating. Literally, like it's day and night. I'm always like finding stuff all over the place.
Got it. When did you decide to open up like your first brick and mortar spot?
When I had enough money.
Got it.
I always wanted to, but we all know money comes into play. So I would just work in like 60 hours a week, saving my money. You know that. I was working at Chef's.
All the time.
I was working all the time. I would go on 6 a.m., 9 p.m. As soon as I get out of work, we making clothes. And then we was selling online for a while. Once I got enough cash, the rest is history.
Yeah. And now the new spot at Saugatuck Suites,
Which is
upstairs
dope.
from Saugatuck Suites.
That's the new concept.
Yeah,
And a
it's-
lot of people are going to try and jump on that, but we're the first ones.
Tell us all about it.
So Saugatuck Suites at Seconds Vintage is 3 floors. First, you get ice cream, candy, vintage sodas, stuff like that. Second floor is like a chill area where it's like it serves as 2 things. You could either wait to go upstairs because it's tiny. You either wait to go upstairs, or you could eat your ice cream and chill and just enjoy the space and then come up.
Right.
But it's like a unique space that you want to chill and hang out in. We're actually in the process of redoing that to make it like more crazy and wild, like an experience. So
Yeah.
retail is dying, but we're reinventing how you shop. Like it's we're using the space for multiple things.
I feel like retail is dying. Like your regular stuff that you could just go on Amazon now and
Yeah.
buy on
Well-
Amazon. Like you don't need to go to the mall anymore and go to J.C. Penney or
To
Macy's
walk around and look for that specific, yes, the traditional way of shopping, right?
Right, that's dying.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there's no vintage. You know what I mean? Vintage retail. Like if you're a person looking for that sort of thing, it's like
And
you
even
want to go see it.
Gary Vee even talks about it actually, and he even said that there is going to be a market of people like Miguel who are going to reinvent what it is and how it is to shop, and it's going to be totally different in 10 to 20 years. This old shopping thing is going to be in the past. Our kids are going to be like, "What was that? What was that like?"
Dude, I hate going to a mall.
Yeah, I hate it.
I don't-
So look, I hate the fucking mall.
Yeah.
The mall's the worst place ever. I hate the mall. But the thing that's missing is the mom and pop shops. The mall's fucking boring.
Right.
Bunch of the same shit. People.
Commercial.
Yeah.
No personality.
No personality. Just get your shit and go.
Right.
But our stores is different. You know, it's more personal. It's more like in tune with like.
I was just there. I mean, it's it's you know what it
Yeah.
is. If you want to talk about,
There's a vibe there.
you're going to the 90s.
Exactly. The minute you hit the stairs,
You're going to the
the
90s.
jeans is made of. The steps
are made of jeans.
Bunch of all the old posters and shit. So it's like it's really crazy. But to me, history always repeats itself.
Yes.
So to me, even though I have an online shop, I think that shit is gonna end quickly, as fast as it starts. Only because with clothing is a little bit different. Like to me, like in vintage, I like to touch and feel the stuff and how it feels on me. And 9 times out of 10, like when you want something today, you can't get it. So it's like instead of waiting online for 2 or 3 days or whatever, and not only that, you saw what happened during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The shipping companies was fucking everything up. So you was wanting clothing and stuff like that. You couldn't even get it.
You're getting it now.
Saying it's coming, oh, it's delayed. You need to go somewhere today. You can't get it. So the like going to the store is gonna become that thing again.
It's gonna be something different though.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be something different,
And
but
it's whoever does it first.
But to me, I'm going to evolve
funny
that
that,
because
like-
you're going to be able to go and pick the garment on the store. We're going to deliver to you same day.
I'm starting to see where you and Al align probably too. Because his whole thing with Saugatuck Sweets was like that community-based space for
Old
people
school.
to come to,
Yeah.
that
The
old
mom and
school
pop.
feel, the mom and pop feel. And then you kind of have that same vision, so it goes together well.
Exactly. And all our stores, this is not the only one.
Right.
We're going to open Miami. We're going to open in LA. It's all
Miami?
going to be the same exact concept. That's going to be our concept. Candy, clothes, floats, all that. And then a chill area to go and enjoy your ice cream and floats and vintage candy and all sorts of stuff like that.
Sounds good. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so going back to the clothing process, right? Like you go, you pick everything out. What's the, so I know the kids candy side of it, right? What's the second side of it going to be? Like what kind of clothes are you going to be doing?
Seconds is actually my baby because Seconds is like, the brand of it is like, I actually find, so I was going to all these places and I kept finding like crazy blank vintage t-shirts. So Mike, you actually seen some.
yes.
You
know what?
We find like these crazy blank t-shirts with mock necks and weird patterns and they're just blank. So Seconds, I actually rebranded with the word Seconds on it for Second Chance. So every t-shirt says the same thing, but they're all different patterns.
Got it.
The first few collections we did was like tie-dye, because tie-dye is crazy right now. So I got mad blank vintage tie-dye t-shirts rebranded with Seconds. Some is embroidered and some is just a signature. But what makes the shirts unique is that they're all different, and the quality of it is crazy. Like
Is this all out now? Like people
this
can
is
come
this
buy
is
this
all
stuff
out now. Seconds.com, or you could come into the store,
I
get
gotta
some
come
ice
by.
cream, all that. And the shirts are so unique. 'Cause like I said, every single shirt is
Yeah.
different. Like to pick a shirt, you got to pick a pattern. a wash or something like that. And you can't go to the store and do that.
Right.
So every single shirt is handpicked. Never know what you're going to get. It changes every time. The prints will change too, obviously. But majority, the shirt is what makes it so unique and the quality of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to make you like survive the, like, if retail's going under, what's going to put you ahead is that personalized touch and feel. And like, I think like your customer base is going to be looking for that.
Also sustainability.
Right.
Like recycling stuff, reusing stuff. Like the fast fashion stuff, the quality is shit.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't make clothes how they used to from back in the day. So it's like when you look at the clothes now compared to the stuff that I have, it's still in excellent shape. And the stuff like you have now, like you wear it once or twice, is done. Right. Shrinks, the color's gone, holes in it. It's like you constantly have to keep buying. So to me, it's quality over quantity. Right. Versus buying a $10 to $15 shirt, you get a $40 vintage T-shirt. It's gonna last you a lifetime because, like,
it's
me,
already
for instance,
pretty strong. All that stuff.
I'm a certain age. I'm not growing no more. So these clothes I will have forever. As the stuff I have in my closet, I've had for years, and it's still in the same quality. And as it grows with you, it like gains a character, but it doesn't lose the weight or the life of it. It still looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that Seconds is going to be the Downtime TV official swag clothing that we're going to be rocking.
You should link up and get some Downtime exclusive
t-shirts
definitely
made. Oh yeah.
Even
I might cry.
Here you go.
I got
these
tissues.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that too. We got the tissues.
Yeah,
Dude, that would be awesome.
That's the move. We have to still I want to make a logo that's like a DTV one that you see like a Nike symbol. That's like you just know when you see like it's like, oh my god, that's the Downtime team. Like that's DTV. So
we'll
when we get
some
that
exclusives made for the starting five.
yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
for
vintage
sure.
T-shirts though.
Yes.
No, they have to be vintage.
With your Seconds logo on it too.
If you see our
that would be
marketing,
dope.
I told you this earlier. Our marketing tactic is not nostalgia, 90s nostalgia. All our IGTV overlays, everything we're doing is tapping into the 90s. We're 90s kids.
Because that's the best time of history.
Yes.
And I feel like nobody would ever be able to.
Yeah, but maybe we can for the next future generations.
Yeah, bring it back and remind people what it is.
Colors, the pop, the creation, the imagination there was.
Hip hop,
everything.
Hip
the
hop.
best era of hip hop.
The
Hip-hop.
clothes, all that, like
All of
the clothing scene was crazy back then. Like everything was just like so sick and fun and going out, like the music.
And technology was just starting to boom then too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the best of. We really got the best
of both
Yeah.
worlds in
Yeah.
the middle of it all.
I always say that.
We came up without cell phones
Yep.
and technology and all that stuff, but then we were young enough to get introduced to it, so like we're not left behind. Yeah.
We're the last generation. We're the only generation actually to experience the past, growing up with a normal childhood, no laptops, no tablets, no nothing like that, no smartphones.
Right.
And our technology is actually our brother or our sister. And we've grown with it every year. And it will for us till we die.
Yeah.
You know? We know that and we understand. That's why we understand the future too. We appreciate technology. We know the benefits of it, but we cherish and honor the past, going out, nature, and you know what I mean? You gotta have both. But that's why we're the best.
They are the best.
What's your motivation for everything? Like, is it your kids? Like, is that what
My
keeps
kids.
you going?
That's literally it.
100%.
My kids have to live that life. So my whole motivation is I actually built a business for them, and it turned into like the way things are nowadays, education system, everything is a little different. So to me, they don't really teach what you need to know going out into the world, which is business and money. That's what it all goes down to. You need to know the basics of life.
Financial education,
banking systems, credit. Like I didn't know any of that. I didn't learn any of that.
Nobody does in school.
No, they
does
don't
in
teach
school,
you
but
it.
you think that that's what they will really prepare you for, like history and all that. I understand the past and all that, but that don't help me with going into the world. Like,
Right.
and then like the stuff that happened back then, that's not gonna help me with today. It's done and over with. We need to move on and focus on what's in front of you. It's supposed to prepare you for what's ahead, and I feel like they don't get that. So I actually work with my daughters, and they're my models and stuff. So I teach them the business as well. So
They're definitely the freshest ones when they show up.
Oh yeah.
yeah, so definitely like working with them, I teach them business and money because eventually I want to build something that's generational for them to walk into and like grow up having their own business, and it's like their closet as well. Like it's teaching them how to like stay fresh and make money.
Yeah.
Like get clothes, wear it for a little bit, you get tired of it, flip it.
Right.
Buy something else.
It's perfect for two young
It's
women,
perfect for women because the fashion scene is big. So it's like, of course, you want to be fresh. So it's like to make money and be fresh at all the same time. It's like you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Freshest kids in school. Not only that, come shop in my store.
Yeah,
So
now
it's like,
all the kids want to come shop there.
not only that, candy, ice cream. Like my kids live on candy and ice cream. The candy store is like it's like a wonderland for them. So they like actually love it. So growing up there for them, it's like I teach them everything, the stuff they won't get in school, like business and stuff. They're gonna be businesswomen. Egypt's the model, London's the brains. Like my other daughter's behind the scenes. She does like more of the computer and pictures and stuff like that. She's more on the computer. Egypt likes to be on camera. She's like the one who wears the clothes and stuff like that. So it's like both of them are gonna play a huge part in this business. So I'm building it for them. Not only that, the store itself, like you could get clothes for yourself and your kids.
I'm so pumped about the adult line. I've been saying it for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, we
since
actually
we've been in there, I was like, yo, we need an adult line of this, please.
we actually have footage of
Definitely.
Jake saying that too.
yes.
Well, yeah. So and it's
You owe me
heavily
10%. No, I'm kidding.
it's actually heavily curated, like because it's basically my style. Like
Yep.
I'm not picking stuff based off of the market. I pick what I like.
Right.
But and I'm only doing it really based off the 90s, like Tweety and stuff like that. That's the stuff I like the old cartoons and stuff with pieces like that. That's what I'm really, really making.
It's literally perfect for our vision over here. It's like
I think it's perfect for the area too.
Definitely, because Fairfield don't got no vintage shop.
Right.
So,
And it's just kind of that.
I can't. I'm gonna put the clip.
vanilla, like, yeah, we'll put the clip in there.
I'm gonna put the clip of Jake when we're in the store when we go visit his old store. And he's like holding up one of the clothes, and I say in the video, I'm like, I can see the money in Jake's eyes, and he's talking about adult. He's like, you put this with an adult, blah, blah, all the favorite girls are coming.
Yeah, because it was like a little kid's shirt or something. I would rock the shit out of this.
Yes,
If it fit me.
yes,
and, that was 1 year ago.
yes.
And we're already in Fairfield. We already evolved to adults.
Yep.
And not only that, like I said, it was perfect because
It is perfect.
being
because-
a dad, like I have daughters, so it's different for me to dress my girls.
yeah.
So you have all these clothes out there, but it's not really my style. So I dress them based off of my style. So it's like when you come into our store, you could get yourself fresh and your kid.
And ice cream.
And ice cream.
And some
waffles,
candy for later.
And some candy for later. So it's like
When you're watching a
it's this
movie, Netflix and chill.
Exactly. So it's like you get all these different things in one, and I feel like nobody's really offering that.
Yeah.
Kids and adults at the same time.
And it's like it breaks up that monotonous vanilla vineyard vines shit that everybody wears.
commercial
Hate
shit.
that. You get
Exactly.
swagged out now.
But not only that, even if you got vineyard and vines and you're tired of it, bring that shit in. I'm gonna fix it and rework it.
And make it the most fire version.
Make it the most
ever.
fire version
You'll
of
be
vineyard
unique.
vines you'll ever see. We rework all clothes, but I do inspect it because quality. Some things like don't rework that well. So it's like
You'll be honest when they come in.
Yeah. You bring in a clothes, I inspect it, and then we could discuss what we could do to it, and then we'll change it up. So it's like don't throw away your old clothes. Like keep in mind sustainability. We could rework your clothes in your closet. So whatever you got, you could come in, and that's why I did that too. So it's like everybody could interact with us. Like you could bring in clothes, even if you don't like what we have. You may have something in your closet that you want to change up or switch, and then we'll do that for you too. We got a whole menu of things you could pick from to like redesign your clothes, and it takes like 40 hours.
Have you been to the
and
new
it's
spot,
done.
Jake?
Yeah, we were
Okay.
there too.
Oh,
Oh no, I went with TJ.
You did
Remember
go
we
with
did
TJ.
like the little yellow brick video for it.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, that was when you first moved in there, right?
oh, so it's
first
probably
moved in.
evolved since then.
Yeah.
I have to come back by. I want to
We
get
do-
a Fairfield sweatshirt.
We have a TV and a VCR.
It's fire.
That's my baby.
Yo.
And we play all the classic
Yeah.
old movies all day. Casper,
Yeah.
Wayne's World,
Yeah,
The Bugs
we-
Life, Small Soldiers, like E.T.
Small soldiers.
Yeah,
was that shit.
fire.
Good Burger. Like we play all those movies all day long. So right when you come through the spot, you
Yeah.
get all the old stuff built in. We got like Nintendo 64s, Xbox.
I just shot all the B-roll. It's gonna be on here.
My number one thing is the jean steps. Like the steps are jeans
with the CDs,
with the old CDs on the wall
to the left.
Yeah. To the left, the old CDs on the wall. So when I built this store, you seen the other store, it was fire, but this one's more intimate, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be more intimate and like more a blast of the past. So like the minute you hit the stairs, you feel the vibe.
There's an old school M&M. Tell me about.
There's an old school M&M from 1997 that was in the first store that they did.
Marshall Mathers M&M or
no.
I'm joking.
Oh, you're so funny.
The blue M&M.
Yeah.
The blue M&M is my favorite M&M, so I love blue M&Ms.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, I'm green.
Why. It's the peanut one. It's not the. I like peanuts too. You know, McDonald's stopped selling peanuts. Caramel sundaes. I love ice cream, so that shit pissed me off. I know that's
it's a good
weird,
thing you're
but
above Saugatuck Sweets. So I never have to go back to McDonald's for ice cream again.
Yeah, my ice cream intake went through the roof.
Yeah,
went through the roof. That is just like
that place is so good. Like in the
is.
summertime, I was going every day.
Yeah. Not only that,
day.
and we're about to create a new drink menu. With like the crazy wild cotton candies, the swirls, all that. So. The new and then the cereal shakes, all that stuff is gonna be crazy. Like that's gonna be the spot of Fairfield.
The Cookie Monster flavor.
The Cookie Monster flavor is my favorite too. You got to get a milkshake.
The sea salt caramel Oreo.
Sea salt caramel Oreo is good too, but you gotta try all these.
I have to go there today. Actually,
you gotta try all these. It's closed.
Yeah,
I can open it up for you though. I can open it up for you.
I'll go this week.
Yeah, all that. See, but that's all the stuff that keeps people like going. Like you get milkshake, clothes, all that in one. And even if you don't, you just come and get other because it's all one business. So it's like it's a win-win. So
a win-win-win.
Regardless,
because then you could chill there.
Yeah, you could chill there. Sweet.
Up in the middle when you redo it.
In the middle, yeah.
In the middle.
Like I said, that wild experience. Yeah. Wild experience. And it's 3 floors. And then we got the Waffle Shack out front. Belgian Pearl Sugar waffles.
That's a winter thing only, right?
So, we actually change it into the Saugatuck Sweets Tiki Hut. Okay. So in the summertime, we make it more of a summer vibe. We got like smoothies and stuff like that in the summertime, but it's only open on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. People want to be healthy, so the weekends is when you cheat. So come get it.
We will.
The weekends are cheat days.
What's
facts?
The fashion industry, like historically, is like hard to break into, right? Like as far as like making connections and like figuring out like where to get clothes from.
Being an independent creator in that fashion world, I'm assuming too is tough.
Yeah, that was always the toughest thing going in because like not knowing, I just used to buy a lot of bullshit.
Right.
And in the beginning, I used to order from companies like without even going because I didn't know the business. I would just order shit and it'll be a box of bullshit. So out of the whole box,
you got one thing.
You got one or two things.
Got one or two things, and I spent $1,000 on it. And mind you, I was fucking working using my check, so I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I just spent a whole week of work on some clothes.
You're
and
like, this isn't the box,
right? This isn't the box, and I call no refunds or exchanges. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like
we have to figure something else out.
I have to figure something else out. So,
and then you figured out like instead of ordering boxes, I'll just go pick everything out.
No, I kept fucking buying it.
For how long?
For a while. That was all I knew for a while. And then I was going to Goodwill and Savers and shit like that. But
when did you find the rag shops or whatever they're called?
Not long after. Actually, some shit happened. So we were making these crazy jeans and stuff. And then we end up linking up with Kidzvndi, which is Big Ange's sister on Mob Wives.
Okay.
You said that's all I heard. What's her name?
Janine Detour.
Oh,
from the Mob Wives. We were actually on the show and everything.
Really?
Really. We actually linked up with them. Their daughter Jeannie had messaged us on Instagram.
Wow.
And she was like, "I want these shorts." And so I still didn't know who it was.
You say, "Can I get a please?"
So then I still didn't know who she was or whatever. So whatever, I was like, okay, let's meet and talk about it.
Miguel saw who her dad was. He was like, you could have these shorts.
No. I still didn't know shit. I still didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing. So it's funny because they messaged us. We were talking and stuff like that. I didn't know shit about wholesale. I didn't even know how to do like a big order, nothing, because I wasn't that far yet. But I wasn't gonna say no.
Right.
So I was like, okay, we could figure something out. I went there not knowing shit.
Why? How much do they want?
Well, they wanted like 100 pieces. I didn't even have that shit. I didn't even have the money. I didn't even have the money to fulfill the order.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the money for it. But
You can't say no to that.
I can't even going to the fucking hotel. That shit was crazy. I didn't even have the money to go to the hotel to stay overnight.
What'd you have to do? Go. So just backtrack real quick.
So basically,
She hit you up.
She
She
hit
wanted
me
to
up.
buy 100 different items from you.
Yeah, she wanted to buy her jeans and wholesale because we used to do vintage Levi's and we used to make these crazy shorts and jeans and stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, we'll talk. So I emailed them and then I set up the meeting.
Where were they?
Staten Island.
All right. So you had to go get
I
a
had to go to
hotel,
Staten
Staten
Island.
Island, stay overnight,
Stay
and
overnight,
then
everything.
talk shop with them.
Talk shop with them. Yo, mind you, I had $200 in my account. So we needed the money to actually go to New York, right? $200, mind you. This shit is funny as hell. So we set up the meeting. We go up there. My tub would close everything. We get to the hotel. Mind you, I had to pay for gas. So gas is closed. Now I'm at
So now you're like 170.
Now I'm at like 170. So boom, we get that shit, right? We get to the hotel. They like, the room's $200. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, this is the room price. They're like, we need a deposit. I didn't have the fucking money. So now we're in Staten Island. I didn't even have enough money to get back. I had to call fucking Leon. You know Leon. Leon's a good friend of mine. I was like, Leon, yo. And then I had Chase Bank at the time. So Chase Bank won't let a random person put money in your account. So we couldn't put the money in the account.
Trash.
So Leon had to go to like, I love him to death.
Western Union.
God bless him. He had to Western Union me the fucking money. He was so pissed. He did it though. So we got the money.
Shout out to Leon.
Shout out to Leon.
Because he actually did it. And we got the money and then I was able to stay. And in the morning we went. They loved the stuff and it was like, we want it in our store. And then it was like,
That's
fuck.
awesome.
We had to figure out. We didn't have the jeans. We didn't have shit. So that's what really made me start looking for like large amounts of clothing.
Did you end up making the sale to them?
I ended up making a sale to them.
How'd you get everything together?
Well, this is a guy named Dave Salerno, and he's fucking crazy, but I love him to death. And I went to him and told them, and I told him, I was like, Dave, this lady needs an order. I need like $2,000. He was like, all right, I'll go up there with you. Oh my God. Dave's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dave, I love you. Yo, Dave's crazy, but Dave took me to New York. He actually drove. He had a driver. He had a driver drive us to New York. Dave got money, but he had a driver. He does. Dave had us driven to New York City. We had breakfast, everything. We went to Janine's house. He's Italian, this big fucking guy. Yo. He's huge.
Paisan,
so like, when you see him, it's like you'll be scared of him. And he's like, what the fuck? Like he's crazy, yo. Dave is crazy. This is Dave's crazy, yo. He's really fucking
Sounds
crazy.
like someone we need on the show.
So we go to the meeting. He starts fucking arguing with the lady. Like,
With the lady?
yo, he starts arguing with the lady. Like, huh?
They're both Italians.
They're both Italian, yo. So
And Miguel's like, what did I get myself into over here?
I was like, oh shit. And then like Dave was like, well, this. He was starting negotiating our price. Like David just wanted the fucking money, man. But it all went.
You just tapped into your Italian right
Yo,
there.
and
Just
like-
wanted the fucking money, man.
And so, yo, but he went because he was like, because he
Huh?
went with us because like he knew I didn't know business and shit like that, and he knows Italian. So he was
Yeah.
like, yo, these people are gonna try to fuck.
He said he knew Italians.
So then he was like, well,
Especially those New York, Long Island type, man.
So then he was like, yo, we're gonna go make you look good. We got a nice Suburban. We're gonna bring our security. He was like, we're gonna
looking
bring
like
our
Kanye
security.
West.
He was like, we're gonna bring our security. We're gonna pull up to the house. Like, yo, we got shit. Like, you can't fuck us over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
Yeah,
love
mob
it.
wives too.
yeah, like, he was like,
Yeah.
after I told him who it was, he was like, all right, cool,
I
man.
bet.
He was like, yo, these people are gonna try it, whatever. Yeah. So he was like, all right, I'm just gonna go with you. I'm gonna give you the money. You know, I want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, fuck it.
This
So
is
we
awesome.
went. They were arguing, and then he was like, oh, you don't want me to get my husband up in here?
Yeah.
And then Dave was like, listen, let's just make the deal. And so whatever. And then they end up talking, and they all end up being good. So then Dave heard the story, whatever, and then we left. He gave me the check. Even that's a fucked up story, yo. Because even when we got the check, it like we needed the jeans within a certain day. Because mind you, all this shit was happening because they had a grand opening to their store.
And they
So-
needed it for the grand
And
opening.
they needed for the
How
grand
long?
opening like 2 weeks.
Damn.
So yo, we went to the bank. He just had opened that account. We went to the bank. We deposited the check, Jake. I lied to you not. We deposited the check. They was like, yo, we need 10 days for this to clear.
Damn.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I just called
How much
this
was
guy.
the check for?
It was for $2,000. It was like, we need time for this check to clear. It was going to take some days or whatever. And then I called Janine. I was like, Janine, I'm sorry. We're not going to be able to take the fucking order. We're supposed to go to New York now. I was like, we're not going to take the order. Yo, I went to the thing. I scrolled available balance.
Damn.
The $2,000
Called
was
her back.
clear. That called her back. Like, yo,
Jesus.
change. Oh my God, it was crazy.
Thank you.
And then I end up connecting with this guy out in California, and he was able to get us to shit. And then from there,
So you connected with a guy in California. He got you the jeans,
and then he ended up connecting me to other people. And then
and that's kind of how you got into like the whole vintage rag shop
And got
world.
into the fashion world.
and got into rag houses and shit. And that's when like my world opened up. And like after Janine and stuff, that was like when I really, really got into it. Like
My eyes
heavier.
were.
'Cause then I was like, yo, we're in a store now. But those people were awesome. Like they invited us to the grand opening. We started hanging out with them more.
Do they still
like-
have that store?
Actually, I think they closed it down, but they still have the Country Mouse though, because Janine's been in the business for years, which is Big Ant's sister. So Big Ant was actually there and everything. We met them. We used to chill with them. Like she was inviting me into like celebrities and stuff and introducing us into people. So that actually opened up a world too, because like they were really, really cool. But like for that to be like our first wholesale account was huge. So we were like, yo, these people are on TV. Like, and then we went, they had this big ass house and it was just like all this crazy shit. Cause we still didn't know who they were yet. And then once we got there, it was like, oh shit, like these people are on TV.
Who's her husband?
Dominic Couture.
Okay.
He actually owns a big construction company and shit, but Big
I bet
Ant
he does.
and her sister
Yeah.
and shit. So it was like, that's when we really,
So he's the mafia guy.
I think her sister was more into the mafia stuff. I don't really know. I didn't really look in deep. I didn't want to know.
You didn't ask.
I didn't ask.
Don't
Hell
ask.
no.
Don't tell.
Well, when
Don't
she
ask,
says,
don't
you don't
tell.
want my husband to get here.
I didn't really think about that part. I was just like, Dave, chill.
How'd you meet Dave?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I know Dave from Chefs.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
Dave Solano used to live across the street from Chefs, and I used to always take care of him. Nobody
probably
ever
know him.
wanted to deal with him because he's fucking crazy. So like everybody was always scared of him. So
And
like
you were like, I'm fucking crazy. I'll deal with it.
literally when Dave used to come in, people used to be like, they used to like walk on their tippy toes, like, cause they didn't know if he was gonna fucking like flip out on them and shit.
I like
Serious,
this guy.
like, and so then I had Dave just had this fucking thing for me. Like me and him just clicked. We was mad connected. Every time he used to come, I used to take care of him. I knew his order and everything. So like we were just mad cool because I was at Chefs for years. So everybody.
So you
knew me
became
from
really
there.
obviously tight with him. If
Yeah,
like,
really, really
go
tight.
down to go to New York with you.
Yeah,
do all the
definitely.
Stuff, write you a check.
Definitely.
That's
so,
awesome.
I mean, he pulled out the troops for
He
this.
did. He pulled out security. Like he had us in a fucking Suburban. He was like, you got to go up there looking right. So when we did that, was it really, really, really like that's when it was like, yo, like this shit is crazy.
Did you make a lot of connections from Chef's Table?
We did. I did actually. And also, even Janine, though, we was actually on the show. So, like, they actually put the whole episode on the grand opening and stuff.
Wow.
So, like, we were actually being filmed with the clothes and everything.
Was Dave,
on that episode.
Dave there?
No, this was the actual grand opening. Yo,
Afterwards.
I wish they showed
Yo.
that on the episode.
and yo, we weren't even finished with the fucking clothes. We were literally making clothes in the car when we got to the grand opening. Like, the grand opening is about to start. Janine was like, where the fuck are you, Miguel? I'm like, we're here. We're up the street. We're in the car sewing pants and shit. Just to
Damn.
get everything done. But we did it.
That
yo.
was your
And
first big order.
I was on first big order. And then like, yo, their store actually, like, everybody was loving that shit. Like, cause they knew celebrities and shit. Like,
Who'd you meet?
I met a mostly the mob wife people and the housewives people.
Oh,
there
nice,
was this
nice.
other show. I don't even know the
Bravo,
name of
all
it.
the Bravo people.
So then, like, these other ladies, and they knew all these celebrity kids, and they wanted our jeans. So it became like they would sell out our jeans. They was contacting us like every week with custom orders because these kids were just eating their shit up. And then that was like the only teenage store on the island. So everybody wanted our jeans.
Did you know at that point, like, okay, we have something
I did
good going here?
have something good going here, and then it was like, okay, like, wow. Even online was doing well and stuff too. So it was like, because like the custom jeans and shorts is like when we really, really like hit it. That's when people.
You know
start
where you're
getting
gonna
into
make
us.
a lot of money is girl jeans.
Well, yeah, and that's what I always say. Like,
Women,
literally,
like,
I don't.
20 and up.
Girls
18
shop
and up.
more than men.
Yeah.
You know,
Man-
what's funny is like old school Air Force Ones are coming back.
They are
For
And,
girls.
Yo, I actually
girls.
said that though. No one listened to me. I was like, yo, Air Forces are gonna be on this next biggest hit, and
And those aren't from the 90s. Those are from the early 2000s.
2000s,
2000s.
baby.
But I kind of link it together in my head with like
The 90s vibe,
you know, Chicago Bulls stuff. Like that's kind of like an old school hip hop kind of thing. Like
it is. And that's what people are mostly into. But history always repeats itself. It's just who's going to do it first. It's old to us. It's new to them. So
yeah, exactly.
even the millennials get into it like in their own time, but they tend to like it more because it's unique and one of a kind, and they want to connect to that timeline.
and then for us, it's like nostalgic and
Nostalgic and stuff like that. So it actually ties in with everything. So I mean,
our brands line up perfectly. I'm really happy about this, this connection we're making, this business venture together.
it is. No, it's for real.
It's dope.
Like Mike's all about the 90s.
That's it.
because it's sick. Like,
all he
what
does
is
is
there
like-
not to love? Like, what is there not to love about it?
Yeah.
I know. We talked about it earlier. The colors, the imagination, the creativity that was in that era was just booming.
And that's what made me want to do like the 90s clothes. Like at first it seemed far-fetched because it's like, where the hell are we going to get all these clothes out? And if you actually look through the website, we got some crazy shit. Like we have some really crazy shit for both age groups, like for kids and adults. It's like, it's insane and I love it. So it really, really hit when like all these people started buying shit like no tomorrow. I was like, the minute we put up shit, it was gone. People like, oh, people still don't understand it, yo. This lady hit me up yesterday. Can you remake this? I'm like, yo, this is one of a kind vintage. Like, you're only gonna get one of it. So I encourage people, you see something, buy it.
Yeah, it's
It's not
exclusive.
coming back.
It's not
It's
coming back. You'll
exclusive.
be the only one with
It's
it.
the only
Yeah.
one with it. The only one with it. And like I said, the garment lasts. It's hand-me-downs. You remember back in the day, like families used to have hand-me-downs for like 5 generations.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here, you could fit this, you could fit this, you could fit this. And like that was a big thing in the 90s was hand-me-downs. So it's like people used to hand down clothes all the time
Yeah.
because the clothes actually last. Now you can't do that.
Do you still have any of the Fairfield sweatshirts?
Yeah.
Still on the
I want one
Fairfield
too,
sweatshirts.
dude.
Yeah, I actually just did a new drop and we're actually working on some more. So
All right, good.
we're about
Save
to
2,
redrop
or
all
at least
that.
5.
Cause yo, we opened the store during COVID.
Dude, thank you.
like fuck me.
I was gonna say, let's transition to how you dealt with COVID, because Jake, what do we think about people during COVID? There's
COVID to me,
Go ahead, tell us.
I understand a lot of shit happened during COVID, but COVID was amazing.
yeah,
I never had so much time to spend with my family in my life. And I understand we lost a lot of people and all that shit, but at the same time, I feel like the world wouldn't have halted the way it did if this didn't happen. You could see the skies in China, like the canals in Italy, like all that stuff is like, I felt like the earth needed a reset. Even people like had time to relax, create things. It also created new entrepreneurs and like new people, and people are actually like in tune with their creative instincts. So I feel like it was a good thing. And like, even me, like I still work. Like I never stop fucking working. I always find some shit to do. I'm just not the person to sit still. I got ADD. I always got to stay active into some shit. So it was like I spent more time with my family, and I just started making more clothes and going harder with the internet. Because I've always been at the restaurant like for years and years and years. So I always had to do both. But like once I stopped and everything was told, I just started fully doing this like all day. All my time and energy was going to it. And then it made business go through the roof because I was actually like every day, like I would wake up and just grind. The internet business like tripled of what we do in sales because I was like fully focused on it.
all your
day.
energy.
All my energy. And then people were at home. So it was like everybody was just buying shit. Unemployment was there. Everybody got the extra 600.
Yep.
Everybody got the extra 600.
Yep.
They was cashing out.
Jake,
like no
Jake's
tomorrow.
gonna lay it on you.
Yeah, no. So like I've been saying there's 2 types of people that like COVID produced. It's like COVID hit and I'm gonna use this as an excuse to sit at home and do nothing and sit here and watch the news or watch Netflix and not use this time, right? Like just spend all this extra money. Like there's the people who are sitting on their couch buying all your shit.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then there was you selling all that shit.
But I also
you know?
did both because I bullshitted a
Well,
lot.
you put it in a different perspective for me just now. It was like this time to spend with your family and like take a break and reset.
Did you not see how many people were riding bikes?
Yeah.
Right.
People were actually riding bikes, taking walks.
I know.
St. Mary's
I
was
know.
packed every day.
But it's beautiful though, because
Yeah, it's good
people
to see.
would never have
Reminded
a
me of
chance
the
to do
90s.
this.
Yeah.
Never. So to me, it was the greatest thing of all
You
time.
just gave me another perspective on it. There's 3 types of people that go to this. So no, I've been saying 2. I was like, there's like all these lazy people and then all the hustlers. But really, there's the hustlers that said, "Wow, let me take a second to see my kids." You know?
Exactly.
So, all right, so I'll give you that one. That
Seriously,
was,
because it's like, like I have more time. Like, so basically on the weekends and shit, I would chill,
Right.
and then during the week I would do the business. But like normally,
you're
I wouldn't
always
even have the
working.
time. Always working, like from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I used to like grind, but not even
When-
9 p.m.
when
9
were you
p.m. was a
opening the store?
restaurant.
Yeah.
Huh?
When were you opening the store?
During COVID.
Yeah, like what was your
Well,
set
we
date
really
to open
weren't
up?
opening during COVID, like because we couldn't open because the non-essential
All that
businesses.
stuff. What was your planned date though? Like when were you supposed to be open?
We were supposed to open March 1st.
Okay, so literally
We started
shit
building
hit
the
the
store.
fan.
We started
March 1st,
building the
really.
store in February. We started changing around in February, and then literally as soon as we were done,
Yep.
the country shut down.
When did you leave Chef's Table?
Well, I really didn't leave. Chef's Table would just close down because of COVID. Chef's Table is a long story, and a Chef's Table, like, you know, owners and stuff like that. I was supposed to be a part of the business and everything. Like, you know, Rich wanted me to be a part of it because, you know, it's like my family. So Rich wanted me to actually, like, we were supposed to do partnerships and all that shit, and then all this happened, and then the business started booming. I just never returned and revisited. But
So you were kind of forced out of Chef's Table and forced into doing this business full time, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back into the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Like that's not over. I'm actually gonna do a food truck soon because like I love food and love
That'd be
cooking.
cool.
Jeff, you had my omelets. You know I get it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My eggs, like just to come in. Jake.
Jake.
I keep
He
calling-
said Jeff.
I don't know why.
I'm like, he's talking about who? He's talking about someone else.
Jake.
Yeah.
No, Jake always.
I
used
knew
to
you were
come in
meant
for
to say
breakfast.
Jake.
Yeah, Jake always coming for breakfast, even in the afternoon. Jake's a late breakfast person. He used to come and get breakfast at 2 after he was done all the shit.
Yeah.
Another grinder. Like
Yeah.
Jake is always busy. He used to come eat breakfast like at 2 o'clock. He was like, let me get some eggs.
Jake, yeah, literally. Jake
I was
is
like-
just straight hustling all the time.
Exactly. So like, but yeah, to me, COVID, you either scared or you're not. That's another person because there's people who's scared shitless.
Yeah.
And there's people who just don't give a shit. And I'm just one of those people who don't give a shit.
What was your plan going to be if COVID didn't hit? You were going to open your store and work at Chef's Table simultaneously, do all this together?
Yeah, I was because like I said, it was ownership, so it was a different ball game. So like I was gonna do both,
Right.
and then branch off, and then like set it up, and then open more stores around the country, like basically LA, New York, Miami. We actually had a store in LA, and that we were supposed to go to LA and set everything up and structure it in February. Mind you, I flew to. This is another crazy story. I literally went to LA in January. I've been trying to get this place for like 5 months. I've been going back and forth every month trying to get this space. The guy was fucking giving me a hard time.
I remember you told me about it, like
Yeah,
the
it's
price and everything.
Price everything. So, and I just kept going at it with him like, okay, let me get it for this. Let me get it for this. LA is my market. Most of our business online comes from California. Period. Like that's just where a big market.
I could see that. Yeah.
Big
that's
market
like
is
the style
California.
there,
So
yeah.
all over California, most of our business comes from California. So, but the kids, because I don't know if you go to LA a lot, but it's mostly
Just once.
adult vintage. So we were going to LA with the kid vintage because there's no kid vintage markets in LA like ours, and those people just go crazy for it. It shows in our orders. But we were supposed to open in LA in February, along with this store. We were gonna do LA. We were gonna do both, and I'll never forget it. I was at Venice Beach on the bridge, and I just backed out. I didn't even know.
Right?
I didn't even know anything was gonna happen. Like it was just this weird ass feeling that I had inside of me, and I called the guy. I'm serious, yo. That's exactly how it happened. I'll never forget that day. I called. She was like, "What do you?" Because everybody know how hard I've been going for this place, but I don't know, man. God told
Just
me
had a
not to
feeling?
do it. Yeah, something just hit me at that time and that point. It was like, don't do it.
Damn.
And so I called him up and I was like, yo, not going to do it. I was pissed. It was on Melrose. Space, like I said, it was a beautiful space, everything. And literally, I just got it. I was going there to sign a paper and put the check in.
Wow.
Backed out. Literally had the whole entire space.
Crazy how that works.
They agreed on the price, dropped it dramatically. And literally, like, it was everything I wanted. And literally just that moment.
That's crazy.
I literally got on a plane and was like, I'm not doing it. I left. Wow. But looking back, it's like, what the fuck? Like, if I would have did that,
I know you would have lost a ton of money.
Screwed. Screwed.
You would have just gotten everything open and then it would
Yo,
have hit.
LA
You would still be shut down right now.
Still be shut down right now because LA is another world right now.
Yeah, it's like communist California.
I'm constantly in California. I spend a lot of time in California. Like half of my life is California. So it's like I'm back and forth. But California is really crazy right now. Like I don't even like it. I love LA, but it's just like they're still not caught up with the West. That's why I love coming home. It's like Connecticut's wide open. You could go and dine in restaurants. You still can't dine in over there.
I know.
So it's like
New York City too. It's
even
like,
going there, like I get tired of eating out the fucking car. And then where I stay at in LA, I stay on Mulholland Drive. So it's so high up in the hills. Like it's like 20 minutes to drive down to a
get
restaurant.
food. And
just like fuck that. I don't want to. And then I don't want to cook. So it's like I just be annoyed with going. I'm always eating on the back of the car.
Don't get Miguel hangry.
Yeah, because I get pissed. I love food. So it's
Yeah.
like, I get pissed off. But yeah, man, to me.
What's the food truck going to be?
The food truck is going to be my things that I'm great at. I'm good at breakfast. I have like select things like tacos, Korean, barbecue, chicken, shit like that.
So you're
It's
gonna
like
kind of mold it all together?
Mold it because I know different cultures of food. So I'm going to spin it and do it all. But it's just like things I specialize in. I'm not really going to do a crazy menu, but it's things that I specialize in.
Good.
I know it sounds crazy.
No, it sounds
It's
perfect.
just like your clothing store. You take one thing that you do really, really well.
Good. And just focus on that.
Focus on
People get lost in the world when they try to do all these different things. But when you study people, even me, myself, even you, Jake, you do the same fucking thing. Like when you go to chefs, you always get your fried eggs, toast, home fries. That's it. And you don't change it. There's a bunch of other shit, but you go and get that same thing from that place.
Yeah.
So once people find something that's great, they stick to it. Mm-hmm. So instead of me making a bunch of different shit and trying to catch a bunch of different markets, I know these simple foods that I make are incredible. And I know I'm going to make it huge just off of that. Just off that.
Mm. Sounds good.
So my thing on entrepreneur is being that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's good advice. Pick one thing and get really good at it.
Pick one thing with whatever you're expert at. Just focus on that. Don't try to do everything else. I read a lot of books.
If you do it well, the business will come.
If you do it well, the business will come because it's a great product. So instead of trying to do it, like I said, quality over quantity. Right. So just if you know how to make 6 things, only do those 6 things and people will come and buy just those 6 things. Think about McDonald's, for instance. McDonald's,
they don't have a crazy menu yet.
They had the same double cheeseburger, same French fries, same Happy Meal, same shit for generations, and that's $1 billion company, $1 trillion, I bet. And people all over the world know those items because they never change it, and it's the same everywhere you go. And people get
throw
it.
in a chicken or a fish sandwich once
a year. That's it. You feel me? So it's like they never really change it. It's just the same shit. So it's like
Bring
people
the peanuts back.
Bring the fucking peanuts
I know.
back. So it's like people get lost when they're creating things because they try to do so many things and they make it into this complicated thing, and it's really not that complicated. They just do what you're good at.
Right. Simple.
Do what you're good at. And for me, it's hard because I'm good at a lot of shit. Like I said, I know how to cook. I know how to make clothes. I take my own pictures. I do the websites. I do this Instagram. I make the clothes. I pick the clothes. So it's like.
But that's all one business that you could do.
That's all one business I could do.
Yeah.
But normally in a bigger company,
you would delegate that out.
Delegate.
Right?
Like there's a person who just take pictures. There's a person who just runs Instagram. There's a person who does picking. There's a person who do the accounting and stuff like that. I do all of that shit. So it's like. Me and myself. Also, how I got into all that shit is because I didn't like depending on people. Like I used to order T-shirts and stuff from people. I actually print all my own T-shirts. I don't know if you guys do that. I do all the printing and stuff at my house in my basement. I cut the prints. I do everything on my own because the companies weren't being able to get my stuff when I wanted it. So I worked for this T-shirt company for free.
Just to learn?
Just to learn. Everybody thought I was fucking stupid. Like I had money. I had a good amount of money, so I didn't need the money to work. So I was just like, yo, just let me work. I was like, all right, cool. He thought I was fucking crazy. So I used to tell other people, like, yo, this dude just working for free. But I learned a whole fucking t-shirt company. I know how to do flyers, all that shit on my own. So instead of me like depending on all these people, I just do everything on my own. Yeah. Everything on my own. Eventually,
I like that you went and worked for free to learn how to.
I did, because to me, I look at things differently. Like, so people go to college, they got to pay.
That was like going to get a master's, basically.
Exactly. So basically, people pay to go to college, right? To learn shit. But it's like literally, there's people in the field actually doing this stuff. To me, there's no better experience than hands-on.
Right.
So it's like actually going and learning it
for free.
Right. For free.
Yeah.
Like, this is some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's another way to look at it. Instead of saying like, wow, this guy's crazy working for free.
No,
He's
fuck that.
learning for
education. Free. This information can make me money.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, I can make money off this information. So to me, that is it.
Yeah, you just gave me this for free. You
I gave me this for free.
He thought you were crazy. You think he's crazy.
Yeah. And everything in that business, I learned everything. And I end up knowing how to do all these different steps in a part of the business. I even worked at Young and Rubicam, which is one of the biggest ad agencies in the world. And I don't got no GED or high school diploma. Gonna kill me.
I love that.
Find that shit out later, but it's just the truth. Tony Granger, I love you. Thanks for getting me that. Tony Granger was the global chief creative officer. I actually know him from Fairfield too.
You got to refer some people to our show.
Actually just gave me. Said I wanted to work there. Richard, his son, is my bro. Like, we're close. Love him. He lives in LA. See him all the time.
You said I want to work here, and
I said I want to work there. He made a phone call. I was like, you got a meeting with Dachi, I met with her, loved me. Week later, office in Central Park. I was at literally how it happened. Like, I actually keep the ID with me because it's like
just
one of my weird ass accomplishments. And
I love that.
It was out of nowhere. But all these different things led up to this because I didn't go to college for it, but I have a market and advertising background because I worked at one of the biggest agencies. And what I learned there was structure and how to like do things. Like, I was an account manager, but like we had like film, like commercials and all these different pieces of the company that you go to get things done. So it was like, I basically got the information for one of the accounts I worked on was Virgin Atlantic. So I would meet with Virgin Atlantic. They would give me the information and I would distribute it to my team. Like, okay, we need to do a billboard. So I had to go to art department and then we got to do a commercial. We got to get talent. And I would meet with all these different people and that taught me structure. So all these different things that I didn't realize what I was doing, it all led to this moment.
Mm-hmm. Like, now you have all the knowledge for your
I even used to do concerts. I work with like Big Sean, Travis Porter,
Bigger Than Me.
Wiz
One
Khalifa.
of my favorite tracks by Big Sean. Bigger Than Me.
So it was like work with Currency, French Montana, like all these big rappers. I used to do shows at like Toad's Place, Fredo Santana, Chief Keef, all these different artists that I used to work with, Pusha T. Like, the list goes on. I used to do shows, Toad's Place, sold out shows and shit. We had this group called American Dreamers Society. We used to do shows in the town, Yale University, Loopholes, Heartbreak Hotel, Virginia, stuff like that. We used to do shows all over. So that was another part of my background that led up to this moment that I learned all these different things that I didn't know while I was doing it, that it was going to all help me at this time and this point in my life.
It's amazing.
And this was all from hustle. Yeah. I didn't go to school for any of this. Like I said, I dropped out of 6th grade.
Damn.
And like, I didn't have no choice. You know what I mean? And then I had kids young, so it was like I had to get to it. I used to hustle too.
I mean, that's why you're perfect for our show. The dream is free, but the hustle sold separately.
Yeah,
baby.
the dream is free, the hustle sold separately. And Leon, actually, I didn't used to read. I used to hate fucking reading. And Leon used to always bitch at me, read the book, read the book. No, I'm not fucking reading. Leon used to bitch at me every single day. Read. No. So this fucking dude, Leon being Leon, he actually went to the store and bought me books.
Did you read them?
I read them. The first book I read, like an entire book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Really that's my guy.
That shit opened my mind.
Yep.
And then afterwards, like, I got into it.
Yep.
And I started reading it more because I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
All the other stuff I was learning from hands on. Like, I would only do experience stuff. Like, I was the person to like just talk. Like, I would actually go and do stuff. I wasted so much fucking money in my life trying to figure shit out. But it's the best way to do things because books don't tell you the ins and outs of things in like, because every way you take is a different turn.
You could read all you want and listen all you want, but the only way you're gonna find out is actually doing it.
Right.
So I feel like I got the best education because I physically went out and did the things.
Yeah.
You want to know the craziest shit to me? And I don't know why it's not brought up or the questions aren't asked, but you don't need a degree to open a business.
Right.
Or start an LLC.
Right.
And
You're taking the risk on your own.
Yeah.
Taking a risk on your own. So it's like not needing that. It always puzzled me because like literally you can open a book or go to YouTube nowadays and figure out what you want to do and start it up. And that shit could blow up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think like that whole bachelor degree college thing is going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Especially now.
Especially now. Exactly. So it's like, when you think about it, like, how come you don't need a degree to open a business? And early on, because I didn't have the best upbringing, well, like my mom was good, but my mom had me when she was 14. So that was fucked up from the beginning because my mom's like half my age.
Yeah.
So it was like, we were on welfare and shit. So my mom did what she could to take care of us, but she didn't give me up for adoption or anything. She kept me and did whatever she could. So
Shout out to your mom.
shout out to my mom. We had our problems over the past and shit. We ain't talked for a while, but as I got kids and got older, I let the shit go and we actually talk now and stuff like that. And we're actually gonna do the food truck together soon.
Oh, cool.
And I left home at an early age and I was brought into a different world. I moved with my girlfriend Amy, which I've been with since I was 14. So
Wow.
I met her when I was younger, and I told her when I was.
Well, you
when
could
I was
tell the way
older-
she looks at you when you talk.
I told her when I was older I would come back to Connecticut, and I didn't have.
It's love.
Once I got a certain amount of money, I came. I left. I moved in with her mother and her brother on the east side, and we ended up having a kid, and that's when the shit hit me.
You were like, I got to get my shit together.
I got to get my shit together, and not having a GED or high school diploma, like that shit fucked me up.
Mm-hmm.
It was like there's nowhere to go. You know what I mean? So it was like I had to figure out how to make money on my own because jobs weren't looking at me. They weren't looking at me. I wasn't able to get a job, nothing. So I had to figure everything out in my own way.
Damn.
And that's how I got to this point in my life is just creating things. And I think that that's the best way to figure shit out. Because even if you took all this away from me right now, I know how to rebuild it because I built it from the ground up. Certain people who's given things and you take it from them, they can't rebuild it because they don't know the process. That's why it's difference of a broke person hitting a lottery and a rich person hitting a lottery. Nobody never understood that concept.
How they blow all the money.
How they blow all the
End
money.
up broke again.
And end up broke again.
That's what you know.
You just had $2.2 million and you just spent it all. You bought this $1 million house that you're probably not going to be able to pay for because you didn't make any investments. Versus the rich person, you gave them $2 million, they're going to turn it to 10.
Yeah.
And that's what I know how to do. I know how to turn money into more. And that's what you have to understand.
That Jay-Z song, You Don't Know.
Mm-hmm. What?
I'm trying to think of the lyrics in it. It's the song You Don't Know. He drops the line, I'm a hustler, homie. I'll sell salt to a slug. You know that one?
I probably do. I used to listen to Jay-Z a lot because Jay-Z is another person who came from.
I'll listen to it after.
Jay-Z actually came from.
It's fire.
We're going to close it out with that song at the end.
Yeah, so Jay-Z actually came from the bottom and he actually made it to be like he's sitting at the table with big people.
What's the song again?
You Don't Know.
Gotcha.
Hopefully it doesn't get us kicked off YouTube.
I think it will. Fuck it. But yeah, so that's like when those things made me into the person I am today. And I wouldn't change it for nothing because it made me different. And I embrace it because it's amazing. And
What was like the biggest struggle?
The biggest struggle for me, not having my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not having my dad and seeing all my friends with their dads and shit. It made me a great father, though.
Yeah.
It made me a great father. My kids live the fucking life.
Hell yeah.
Trips, crazy trips. My daughter parasailing, hanging out of helicopters and shit. And traveling like Disney, like trips to California and shit. Florida, all that shit. Like water with my kids live an amazing life. And that's what drives me every single day is being able to provide them with crazy experiences. But it also came from pain. It came from pain and like my kids aren't gonna live like that. My kids aren't gonna go through this. My kids are gonna have money. Like when my daughter turns 16, I'm purchasing her a car. I'm buying both of my kids homes. And business. Like, they may not want to do this business, but it'll sustain itself and put money in their pocket.
And they'll know the process too.
But I'm also going to set up an account so when they're older, you can start your own business, or you can just do whatever you want with the money. But they'll still have stuff in the education of running a business and doing stuff like that, or to open their own company, because they may not be interested in this when they're older. They may want to do something else, but the money will be there. And that's what drives me, is to create that future for them, to not have no struggle or no pain or anything like that, or depend on jobs and shit. Because you know, jobs, like, they let you go whenever they feel like it. Like, you're disposable. So to me, it's like, you got to build business. And even in my company, like, to me, it's about building blocks. Like, the way the industry is nowadays is just like, they just pay people just to keep them there, but they don't really give them enough to survive and make they don't really care. So to me, in building our company and turning it into a big corporation, is taking care of the people. So my philosophy on business is, like, take care of the people and let them grow within the company. Like, for instance,
that's what we're doing. They'll take care of your customers.
Like I said, like, for instance, like, these people be making shit ton of money. You see your employee on the bus, give them 10 grand for a car. It's a write-off. Like, why don't people do that?
I don't get it either.
Like, yo, if you got some medical bills or some trouble, like, you're my family. Like, you understand what I'm saying? You're my family. You're going to tell your lights got cut off. I'll pay it. You know what I mean? Like, make it, like, close the company, take them on trips, send them on vacations, get them massages and shit. Like, because these are the people who are out there grinding and breaking their back for you every day, and they're not properly taken care of. And that shit pisses me off. So within our company, like, you grow and you love us, and you don't have the education to grow in the business.
They're like your family,
Like your family. Like, we see you doing good. Let's say we want to open in another location. I'm not going to hire new people. You've been with me for 10 years. This is your store. I'll give you a part of it. You run that.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
So that's how I'm going to build my business, is by off of my people. I don't want to keep changing out people or change people. Not only that, you trust these people. You know what they're going to do. You know every move they're going to make. And so building a company is just building into people. Not only that, making sure they're taking care of their families and stuff like that. Yo, there's times I've been through, like, you got to go home or some shit, or your kid's sick, or you need a day. These employers, they don't give a shit.
That's a big reason why we're doing this, dude, at Downtime.
But that's also another motivator, because it's like, yo, like, fuck you. Like, I got to take care of my kids. You want to lose your job. You know, and these people know what these people are going through. And instead of them, like, being, like, I understand you run a business at the same time, but the business is your people. So the customer is important, but if you're not dealing with the customer, your employer, you take care of your people, because they're taking care of the customer. So to me, the people who run the business is the most important part, not the customer. And also,
your employees are the most important.
And to me, that customer's always right. That shit is bullshit. You can throw that shit out the window.
Chris, that was just on here on Friday, was talking about Tony Shu, the guy that runs Zappos, the CEO. You know, and his whole thing is, I'm going to take care of my employees, and in return, they're going to take care of the customers. And when they were interviewing, when the board was interviewing to be the CEO of Zappos, they were like, he said to them, I don't know anything about shoes, right? The whole company is based on selling shoes. He's like, I don't know anything about shoes, but I know people. That's it.
Topic. I learned that from a book I read.
What book?
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill.
There was a story inside the book about Henry Ford. Henry Ford ain't no shit. But in the book, it said he pushed the red button.
He knew the people.
Anybody who could, any question you needed to be answered, he had somebody to answer the question. So one thing I learned is that you don't necessarily have to know everything. You just have to know how to delegate tasks and put the right people in the right place, but then planting that seed into that person. So a part of that is like taking care of people. It's like planting a seed. Like by me, like nurturing you, you could be the next person to run my company.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's a real leader. I live by this. Like, cause you know,
real leaders produce other
real leaders.
Real leaders.
Yes.
But Jake, think about the business world. That's not what's happening.
No.
Yeah.
They're disposing people.
They're out there. You just got to find them.
They're out there. You just got to find them. But big companies are disposing
They treat people like they're disposable.
Treat people like they're disposable. They don't even like say thanks or I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just you're not on the schedule.
You're not on the schedule. That's
replaceable,
it. You're replaceable. And it's like, to me, That's not the way the business world should work. Because to me, these are the most important people of the fucking world, are the people who's out there grinding every day. And with the customers every single day are these people. And these are the people you should be talking to. Like, and me knowing, like you said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm going to have mad fucking companies. I ain't going to have time to go deal with all this shit, but I'm going to have these 6 to 7 people that I deal with on a regular basis who's going to take care of all this shit.
Yeah.
And then they just report to me and talk to me and let me know what's going on. And then through them, I distribute the love and power. And then they'll do everything else. So to me, in order to become a serial entrepreneur, you have to learn people skills. Yeah, of course you got to be hard, but at the same time, you got to have that balance of love.
Connection, yeah.
You got to have that connection, and then you got to put it in your people. Because once you put it in your people, it all spreads like a virus. And
That's
it trickles down.
Yeah. Before what time is it?
You got to wrap it up.
Before we wrap up, if you could go back to yourself, you know, your younger self when you were just thinking about starting a business, right? If you could give any piece of advice to a young entrepreneur, what's that piece of advice that you'd give to them?
Focus. Focus meaning put down everything you're doing and every day focus on your craft. Meaning educate yourself on it, practice, and surround yourself with people who wants to do it. I have to say this. The 5 people you surround yourself with determines your success in the next 5 years. And the reason I'm saying is because you got 5 friends who will call you and be like, yo, let's go smoke a L, let's go to the club. And then you got Jake, for instance, hey, Miguel, let's go purchase this house. And then our conversations are about business and money, so that's what you'll see more of.
Right.
Versus the friends who's going to the club to party and smoke and pick up chicks. So who you surround yourself with is important because your brain absorbs exactly what you tell it to. So what you read, what you listen to, what you focus on is what you're going to get. So when you're thinking about going and doing something, you have to focus and make sure everybody in your world leads towards that one purpose. And if it doesn't, get the fuck out the way.
Yes.
Period.
Facts.
Bang.
Where can people find you?
Yes.
Instagram, social media.
28 Reef Road, Fairfield, Connecticut. That internet shit is cool, but I like talking to people in person. I like to feel your connection, your vibe. I can't sense you through the internet.
Anywhere on social media?
Kidzvndi or
Kidzvndi
or Seconds, SEKENDZ Vintage.
Seconds Vintage or Kids
Or you
Candy.
could just call the store, which is
drop
on
by the
both
store
social
in
media
Fairfield, 28 Reef Road, you said?
28 Reef Road, downtown Fairfield. You could even call or text us. We take texts all day of the night. So if you got any questions or anything.
What's the number?
I have to go on Instagram and look it up myself.
All right.
But yeah, you could call, text us, ask us any questions.
Get the number for us real
The
quick.
number, Genius Bar, whatever.
I'm really happy that you came on today because I knew we were going to have a deep, good conversation. I've been saying it for years. I was like, yo, I wanted to sit down with you and talk to you. And
203
yep.
673-9439. Call
Awesome.
or text. We buy sneakers, we buy vintage, we buy clothes. So if you ever want to sell anything, just want to make some cash or get some shit off, you could bring it in, send us a picture, text us a picture. It's like recycling.
Right.
Recycle. You got tired of somebody else want what you got. So
Yeah.
put some money in your
Especially if
pocket
you're swagged out.
and give it to somebody else.
Or just drop by and get swagged out.
Or drop by and get swagged out, or sell some shit. It's a win-win.
And if you have a sweet tooth.
Or if you have a sweet tooth, this all works out. You can make some money. You could buy some clothes, store credit, whatever. Because it's buy, sell, trade. That's important.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks,
Thank you
dude.
for coming
Thanks,
on. We can't wait
everyone.
to have you back.
All right.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.